Life and life is basketball. I ball forever, man. We got a new guest. This was supposed to be my original guest, and he gonna be here now. From here on out, along with PJ and stuff and Ted. You know they gonna always chip in and pitch in. But we got Ace Willie in the building now, man.
What's up? What's up with it?
Yeah, we got Ace Willie in the building, man. That's my cuz. Like hooping is what we do. This is what we always did. You know what I mean?
Hashtag ball is life.
So when I said let's do the podcast, that's my go-to ASAP. You know what I mean? But life hit, so we got everything together now. So and
Y'all know what it is.
y'all know what it is, man.
Who want to talk about that LeBron and Jordan thing? and I know, we gonna skip past that today.
Let's skip past that. But this episode, what, 53? 53. And we gonna get into it, y'all. It's been stuff going on in the bubble, as usual, and it's been affecting the world as usual. It seems like everything that's going on in the NBA, whether it be the coronavirus or whether it be stuff that's going on with protesting and the boycotts, it always affect America. So it's like NBA right now got their thumb pulse on America right now, as far as just movement and how everybody moving and conversations that everybody is having. And the emotions that it's bringing from everybody. So we want to get into the protest. The Milwaukee Bucks boycotted their game not too long ago, and they didn't show up. They didn't come out and protest to the shooting of Jacob Blake in Wisconsin, which is pretty much in their neck of the woods of everything. That's their state. Kenosha, Wisconsin. Jacob Blake was shot 7 to 8 times, point blank range in the back, which was just terrible. And I know Ace wanted to talk about that. He had something to say that.
Cost him his legs, man.
Cost him his legs. He paralyzed halfway down. But we was recording this a little bit early. Something happened, but Ace had something that he had to say regarding that. So I'm gonna let him get to that and say that.
Oh yeah, what I said earlier, I was basically just speaking on the fact that I saw a lot of people trying to justify the actual shooting, and I just wanted to make it clear that a cop is never supposed to shoot anyone in the back, regardless of what the situation is. I don't see how you can feel threatened if a guy's back is turned towards you. You know what I mean? I don't understand that one bit. And my thing is, if you that scared, you shouldn't be a cop. You know what I mean? If you feel like you have to have your gun on the trigger at any given moment, at any given time, you shouldn't be a cop. But the reality of it is, we know what goes on. We know what has been going on. It's been something that's been going on for centuries, hundreds, 200, 300 plus years. I mean, it's no difference. We've been getting hung by them. We've been getting cars shut up. I mean, we the list goes on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to make that clear as far as the shooting. You know what I mean? No one getting shot in the back is ever justified. But on the flip side to that, I do want to applaud the Milwaukee Bucks and also the other teams for doing what they did. I think that was a very big move, as far as boycotting, take a stand. When it's that much money on the table, are you willing to walk away from that? That's a huge deal. You know what I mean? They was right there. Yeah, that's bold. That's very bold, and those guys should be applauded for that.
Yeah, that was big. Them basically taking that stand and saying like we're not gonna come out, and them as a team deciding that they're not gonna come out. Like,
right.
That affect a lot of things you do. Like I said in my post not too long ago on IG, it was like, yeah, you gonna hit them in their pockets with it and everything like that, but you definitely gotta have a game plan. And that's what that big issue was in the bubble not too long ago. Before everything got back to rolling, the Lakers and the Clippers had voted not to even finish the season, because I felt like, well, the stories came out. They were trying to do something in a more unified front, but then the Milwaukee Bucks just went out there and just said, "F, we not gonna come out." But it was supposed to be a game plan, that was initiated within that whole aspect. And like I said, that's what they was doing all this for in the beginning, to go down to the bubble with, kneeling for the national anthem, having the different sayings on the back of their jerseys with their names, to have the conversations going, to bring awareness to what's going on. That's what this was all about. So when this happened, it was just like, y'all not hearing us. You know what I mean? Y'all not hearing us. Like, and so because y'all not hearing us, you're not gonna see us. I seen JR post that. Like, he said that verbatim. Y'all not hearing us, so y'all not gonna see us. And they want people to understand what they are protesting for. And if they still seeing the same shit happen on in the streets and in these other cities, what you feel, they gonna feel like, okay, you're not hearing us. Like, we need to get this shit in order and get this shit correct. Like, it's affecting everybody, not just the people that's involved. Like, that energy affects the nation. So it's like, let's get this under control. And I already stated, it's plenty of activists and people that actually not just said we need change, but actually presented a plan for the change. But those people, I know they're not the other team's favorite people, but at the same time, they're not their favorite people, because those people are speaking the truth. Like I said, with Dick Gregory and Malcolm X and all those people, they put plans out there, and even like on an even plane, how you can take care of this on a in the court system, so where these people can be held accountable. And one line that was said was, if they did it the way that they supposed to do it, where they would hold these people accountable for it, they asked the question, do you love your family more than you hate me? Because if you willing to risk everything and throw it all away and put your family in a effed up state, basically, because you ain't able to pay the bills no more and stuff like that, because you just hate somebody else that much, then that says something about you. Like, you need to work on that. You got to work on that, because your family's supposed to come first before anything. No hate should override that. And then on top of the situation that happened with Jacob Blake, they can't even protest in peace. When they was trying to protest in peace, a youngin from state cross lines, he wasn't even in the state, wasn't even part of the state. A young guy shot up two people that was just trying to protest. Peaceful people, you know what I mean? They wasn't trying to do anything, cause no harm. They were just trying to protest and just make more awareness of what's going on. And he ended up clipping off two people. Got to go home. And they ain't even like, the video showed us, man, walk towards them, they give them a bottle of water and everything, tell them thank you and everything.
Some water, man.
Yeah, they gave the man some water. Like, just crazy stuff, and that people is telling these people, like, listen, he just shot somebody, he just killed somebody, why are you not listening? Like, why you can't have a conversation and just understand what's going on? It's so much chaos because nobody want to just sit down and just pause, listen, what's going on, hear them out.
Yeah, that ain't nothing new. They did that today on Roof too. But back on the boycott and the protesting and everything that's going on in the bubble. I want to salute Doc Rivers too. That the speech he had at post game, yeah. The speech he had post game, that was pretty powerful. Some of the stuff he said, especially the what he said as far as
the bare minimum. Like, basically, for all the stuff that we've been through, the only thing we asking is really bare minimum compared to what we supposed to really get.
Yeah, and what he said as far as it kind of amazes him how we continue to love this country and this country don't love us back.
Man, crazy.
You know what I mean? That was a powerful statement that he made, because that's what's going on. Man, we continue to entertain the people. We continue to
be the pulse,
work,
be the heartbeat.
Work for people, in the whole nine, and a military, being in the military, um, just the whole nine, and for us to constantly get the short end of the stick, um, in the way that they do it, as well. It's not that they even
It ain't even
monitor how
slick
it
no more
happened.
about it.
Like, so
Yeah.
they don't even monitor how they do
It
it.
ain't even slick
It's
no
just
more. Like they ain't even doing it under the rug or tapping it under the rug no more. It's just right out there opening
it
for your
just
face
is
now.
what it
Like
is. Like that's cold. That's cold. And even still though, after all these years of slavery, after all these years of police brutality, after all these years of just oppression, um, we still haven't found it in us to really retaliate. You know what I mean?
that's another thing. Like it's like
That's
you really think you scared that we might do the same things that y'all did to us to y'all if we got ourselves in some real power. And I don't think we
newsflash.
not that type of people.
If it would have happened, it would have
Happened
happened
a
years
long time
ago.
ago.
It would have happened years ago.
Like we just ain't that
You know what
type
I
of
mean?
people. Even when
Newsflash.
I like literally like if you really think about this stuff, like the stuff that black people went through, Native Americans and everybody, because I'm representing the Native American side, and we still black at the end of the day. It is what it is. But it's like they still haven't like retaliated or went crazy on these people like that. Like it's still we still trying to do things out of love because that's how we vibrate. We vibrate out of love. That's just in our melanin. That's just what it is. Um, so we really don't want to do that. People nowadays, they just want to go home to their families and see their children live and move on. You know what I mean? And see their children grow to have some grandchildren and everything, and so on and so on. And to have something for themselves as they grow. You know what I mean? And have something for their children as they grow, and just to have some type of ownership of something for themselves. Like, so that's our mentality because a lot of people. So I mean, black people so far from that. They behind the eight ball as is, just coming off of just the generational curses of the being slaves and things of that nature. That brought us back so far. So people was just trying to catch up for real, you know what I mean, and just trying to get something. They trying to get ownerships. They trying to get land and trying to get their own companies and things of that nature going up. And I feel like at this moment we are getting better at that. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah,
Like we definitely are getting better at that. We are growing with that, but we should have done this, or this stuff should have been done, or should have been. How can I say it? Black Wall Street, everything should have been piggybacked off of Black Wall Street tenfold by now. But you see what they did with Black Wall Street.
right.
But you see what happens when we do have a Black Wall Street, you know what I mean, and how prevalent we can be, how good we can be to the community, how powerful we can be in that sense, you know what I mean? And so it's like they stopped that as soon as they seen how, successful they was getting. And they knew it was gonna be just like a wildfire. It was gonna just continue to spread and continue to spread.
But before we move on to another topic, while we're here, I wanna say something to all my blacks, African Americans, or whatever you choose to call yourself.
Yeah, you still black.
Keep your head up. That's one. I know it's a lot of things that's against us. I know we face with a lot of adversities. Um, but one thing we can't do, and we can't allow them to get us to the point to where we walking around, like damn. You know what I mean? They got our head hanging down. You know what I mean? Keep your heads up. We still living, we still here, we still rocking. And as long as we got life, that always leaves us with an opportunity to change.
We're gonna come out on the end of this strong, like
right,
real tough.
And it's no point to really, be walking around with your head hanging down. That's not gonna fix anything. So whatever you can,
high.
Exactly. And whatever you can do, whatever you need to do to keep a smile on your face, to stay happy, to stay in a positive, upbeat and a higher vibration, a frequency, or whatever you have to do that.
Yeah.
Just understand what's going on. That's not saying that it's not moments to fight back or whatever the case may be. But I really want us to be smart. I really want us to be smart about our approach with things, um, and understand that it is something out there that's against us. But for all these years, we still here. We still rocking. We still stronger than ever. So yeah, just keep your heads up, smile, find a way to be happy, and keep it moving.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. And so shout out to the NBA for standing with the players when they was going through what they was going through. The games are back, as I said.
Big
It was only gonna last for an hour because money talk, and everything else walk at this moment right now. So it was gonna get back to it. They had a meeting. They talked the Clippers and the Lakers back into getting back into the bubble and getting back to these games and finishing up the playoffs. I mean, man, this year it's just been trash, man. I ain't gonna perk. Like 2020 just been trash. Um, Depending on how you look at it. I mean, it's certain things that people have gained in 2020,
Gift
but
and a
it's certain
curse.
things that
It's a gift and a curse.
at that same time we lost like a lot of great people that was big influences for the people that are making moves now. So it's like, yeah, we really are getting hit from all different type of angles, but at the same time people are persevering through it all, and they trying to just keep it moving and keep it pushing, and that's what you got to do, like Twan said. Like they say, man, you got to keep it pushing, got to keep it moving, got to stay positive, keep your vibration high.
Got to.
Because
No choice.
stuff gonna happen. And this week, we lost two great ones. We actually lost three people that was in the NBA family. Well, I ain't gonna say in the NBA family, but they was definitely you would see them in the All Star games and things like that. We lost Chadwick Boseman, Black Panther. He would always be to the All Star games and things like that. So he was
Rest in
connected to
heaven.
the
Rest in
NBA
heaven.
players and things of that nature. Victor Oladipo had his dunk contest, and he was a part of that dunk contest. With the Black Panther giving him his mask and all that type of stuff. So it just hit hard. You know what I mean? That hit hard. Then they also lost. We also lost Clifford Robinson, one of the Portland Blazers, one of their top 10 players all time as far as when you check his stats. I was just checking the stats before we started, and he basically in the top 10 of everything all time for the Blazers. So he was a very important piece. And I mean, he was a bucket getter, honestly, rebound, did everything. So, you know, praise to, we praying for their families, for sure, because if it, like what I tell people is, if that took like, imagine that, that gut, that blow to the gut that you talk, you got when you heard that happen.
Right.
Imagine how their families are going through it. You know what I mean? They going through it. So it's like, just pray for the family, give them they privacy, and let them get through it the best way they can possibly get through it. But we lost some real ones right there, man, this week. Definitely lost some real ones. And
Moment of silence.
yeah, just give them a moment of silence. Man. All right, it's Wakanda weather. Wakanda forever, man. So
What do you do? What do you do?
yeah.
Man.
So that one gonna sting. I mean, that stung to me as much as the Kobe did.
Yeah, that hurt, man. He had a lot of influence, man. He had a lot of influence. I mean, from not just even the Black Panther movie. I mean, the Jackie Robinson movie.
He played some big roles.
Yeah, he
big roles, and the roles that he picked was like, yeah, like he played some roles that was like, he played other influences, but those influences affected the culture. You know what I mean? Like the culture.
Thurgood Marshall. Yeah. See, he was one. That was one. He was a good one.
Yeah, and I just recently watched The Five Bloods and everything like that. So that was a good one too. I just recently watched that not too long ago. That's a good movie too. Check that out. So definitely, man. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman, man. Definitely, man. You a real one. We gonna get into these games because the bubble did start back up. It was some action going on. The Lakers, they ended up closing out the Blazers. The fourth game, Dame hurt his knee. He got a lateral meniscus sprain, and he dislocated his finger. On top of that, but the dislocation finger didn't stop him. He still dropped like almost 40 that game. I wasn't expecting that. Because I done dislocated my finger, and that should take about a month to heal. But Dame got in, take that bitch up, got out there like Kobe, and still dropped some buckets. But it just wasn't enough. You know what I mean? Like, you could tell that it was just hitting that wall. You know what I mean? It was really hitting that wall because they did so much just to get into the playoffs.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? That energy is just starting to like, okay, man.
I think they was gonna lose anyway.
Yeah.
Not to downplay them because they is a good team. You know, they do got some solid players. But I mean, we talking about the Lakers. We talking about LeBron James in specific. But they is a, you know what I'm saying, they is a solid squad. But I think they exerted way too much energy in them last 3 games, going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think they kind of put it all on the line just to get in the playoffs. So by the time they got there, it's them.
Gas City.
Gas. You know what I'm saying?
City.
You already ain't at your fatigue bar. Your fatigue bar ain't already 100%. You got to go against the Lakers. You kind of surprised they ain't get swept. I'm surprised they was able to get that one game off. But that one game, I believe they got it off because they was riding off of momentum.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So they was able to sneak that first game in.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the Lakers was sitting for a while. They didn't have, not sitting.
They weren't playing their full rotation.
Yeah,
they was just really just experimenting. Once they clinched, it was just like, let's play around now. You know what I mean? Let's figure some rotations out that's gonna come off the bench. Let's see if we can put some other different players with LeBron and AD out there and see if that click a little bit more. They was just really messing around. They ain't really had nothing to fight for. So that first game, I was expecting them to lose that first game. I thought they was gonna lose that first game because the Blazers was coming in so hot.
Yeah, they was coming in.
They was coming in so hot. They was on fire. Like, they was on fire. So I expected them to ride that momentum, but eventually, with any basketball, like, you can ride that momentum. You can be hot for a while, but you gonna eventually hit that brick wall. You gonna eventually have a bad game here and there. Like, and it finally happened, and then Lakers started to take advantage, and then everything just went into regular normal place.
Injuries start falling into play. You just overexerting yourself. So.
And I think that's what the Bucks. The Bucks, I think they just got surprised with that first game. Like, oh shit, you know what I mean? They put the brick wall up. We weren't expecting, and then they got a good coach. The coach made some adjustments, and then Milwaukee here and one of them did what they had to do and got to the next round too.
With their guard down.
Mm-hmm.
Orlando kind of snuck one in on them.
Mm-hmm. And I wasn't expecting Orlando to see none in. I thought they would have sweat, but.
Orlando they pretty decent. You know what I mean? They to me they better than what they going to get credit for.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was easy for them to sneak one in, but still, that's still unmatched.
Yeah.
Giannis himself is gonna mess up everything on the defensive end. What you gonna do with him?
Yeah. Speaking of that. He won a Defensive Player of the Year this year.
Shouts out to that.
Yeah, he definitely did it. Now,
kind of surprised me though, but shouts out to him.
Yeah, I was kind of.
I know it didn't. It did, but it didn't.
Who you thought you should have went to then? If it wasn't him, because I already know who I know should have went to.
It could have went to Anthony Davis.
That's what I was thinking. It should have went to AD.
It could have went to who else? Who else out there?
It was Gobert, the other third. He was the third runner-up.
Gobert.
Yeah, because he just blocked machine. You know what I mean? He averaged like 2+ blocks a game. So
yeah, I say AD or Giannis. Them was.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna go. I thought the DPOY was gonna go to AD, but I think because Giannis got the DPOY, I think LeBron gonna end up getting the MVP now. Because I don't think they're gonna give Giannis the MVP and the DPOY.
I think he about to slide both of them.
Oh man, if they do that,
I think he about to get both of them.
I mean, my thing with that is like,
I think he about to get both of them.
I can see them doing it, but at the same time, like, just clinch the playoffs first. LeBron is averaging highs and assists, career highs at his 16th, 17th year. 17. Last year was 16. So it's like, and he's still averaging pretty much the same amount of numbers as far as points. He's still been dropping some 40-point games here. Still, you know what I mean? He's still producing on the offensive side, and he's still rebounding on top of that. So it's like overall, he got a harder conference. You know what I mean? And they clinched the number 1 seed. They smacked, like they did what they were supposed to do. They only lost 17 games in the season. So with that being said, it's like, I don't know. I think you gotta kind of give it to him, man. You gotta really kind of give it to him because he's still just running the league at that age. You know what I mean? Still running it. And Giannis was doing this thing over in the East, but the East is just easier. I mean, the East. I ain't gonna say they easy, but compared to the West, man, I know what it is.
I think it'll be nice, but I don't think about pressed about that.
I don't think he's pressing about right now.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like he already felt like he got cheated out of a few of them before.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think he put that much emphasis on it. I think his thing is that ring. You know, he want that ring.
Yeah, because like you said, first anytime first time you get cheated out of something, second time you get cheated out of something, you might be hot. Third time it's just like, okay, this is gonna be just the norm. You know what I mean? So yeah, if he don't get it, I don't think he's gonna be tripping.
I mean, let's be honest, man. If LeBron really wanted it, or if it was, let's say this, if it was gonna really come down to it, he would have won probably
6.
Yeah, he would have a decent amount. How many guys?
He got 4 now.
4? Yeah. So I give him about 2 more. Yeah, he most definitely would have.
Yeah, so, you know, shout out to the Lakers. They going against Houston. What you think about that series? Well, no. Is they going to either go against Houston or the Thunder? You think the Thunder going to, you know, do something to bounce back from this loss that they just took? Because they just took a loss to Houston not too long. So Houston
I want to say, I don't know. But what I will say is that I'm leaning more towards Houston. I think Houston just got the better stars. You know,
they got Chris Paul. They got Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. They got
enough though. That ain't enough.
They got Gallinari. They got your boy coming off the bench.
They just lost the last game with Westbrook coming back, and Westbrook was only like 3 for 13.
Yeah, he only played like 24 minutes too. He only had 7 points.
Yeah, and James Harden only played like 23 minutes. He had like 30, I believe, somewhere around there. But you know, he ain't played that many minutes. I'm it's blowout, so of course you're gonna
Thunder. They surprised me as far as like how consistent they've been throughout the whole season.
Most definitely. Definitely. Man, Chris Paul need to get a lot of credit.
He need to get more credit.
A lot of credit.
Like, they be playing Chris Paul.
I mean, because who would have thought though? Think about that. Who would have thought? What they placed? What was they placement? That was like a fourth one.
Fourth
or fifth.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have thought that? Think about that. Chris Paul. I mean, and a bunch of role players. You know, who would have thought about that? Nobody thought the Thunder would be in 4th place in the beginning of the year. Like, nobody would have thought that. I mean, it ain't even crossed a lot of people's minds. You know what I mean? But the fact that Chris Paul was able to come, his leadership is one of a kind.
Yeah. He definitely went in there because everybody thought he was going to go into the season and was like, just wash it out and get ready to get